Well guys, the Q&A is finally here, and I can't wait to get into these questions, even though there's not too many. So yeah. Well, I guess we'll just try and get into them, soon, because I don't want to take too much time. I don't want to filler, even though it can allow me to have some of more of that 10-minute ad revenue that I'm pretty sure a lot of people would love. Well, this first question is done by Alfredo Ramos III. Sorry if I butchered your name right there, but I can't really do anything about that. And he asks, when will it come out? Well, I mean, if you saw the original trailer, I mentioned how it's planned for 2018. There wasn't really a specific time frame for it because, I'm not too sure exactly when, and I don't want to make promises because I don't want to delay it because, I mean, remember what happened with Joni Taste Episode 3? I announced that for like summer, and then it pretty much got scheduled for a fall release because I procrastinated a lot, but whatever. Considering the fact that I'm going to be still in school for this year, because, I mean, I have, school, and as, one of my favorite animators, Nick Dante, says,
managing a web series in school is impossible.
So, yeah, I pretty much can't really guarantee when it's going to come out, so that's pretty much the short answer. I can't guarantee when, but I know it's going to be in 2018. That's all I can say. So, I guess the next question is,
what is going to be Sketch Toons? Is it a series, a movie? Also, what are the main characters?
By RSI Rock. Well, RSI Rock, I'm glad you asked that. It's not going to be a movie, it's just going to be a series. I mean, the reason why I'm not going to make it a movie is because, for one, that would be insanely ambitious for a small channel like myself. And two, it wouldn't really be a reason to make a movie because, I would make, like, a movie for it in the far future, like, that's sort of like a send-off thing maybe, but that's just an idea. Probably won't do that, but it's just going to be a series because a movie would be ambitious and a little bit unnecessary. And I would love to do this as a series because I don't want to just keep making multiple movies because that would just ruin it. That would just make it awful. So yeah, it's going to be a series. As for your other question, the characters are pretty much just evolved versions, or maybe de-evolved versions, or whatever the word is, depending on who you ask, of the characters that I mentioned in my old presentation video earlier this year. See, we got, SNES, the more, I guess, sort of cheerful, sarcastic character, sort of taking inspirations from characters like Ed from Ed's World and SpongeBob, pretty much. I know it's kind of awkward for me to say that, but that's kind of some of the inspirations I took. There's Kribo, who is more of like the more, I guess, like, the word would be sort of like snarkier, smarter character, I guess. Take inspirations from characters like Squidward and Kazooie. Yes, I took inspirations from Kazooie while making the character. We also have Alex, the more, I guess, surly, kind of crazier character, I guess. Not like random equals funny character, but just sort of like a more randomer character. There's Nitro, who I did kind of change up a bit, because since the series is a lot less action-based, like the comic was planned, he's not really like a weapons enthusiast like he was back then. He's just more of like a sort of mischievous, kind of, I guess, violent character, I guess. Not exactly like evil or anything, but sort of like, I don't know exactly how to put it, but that's kind of what I would say. It's kind of hard to say, but whatever. And then there's, the last character, Danny, who, he's just your well-rounded character who has a fondness towards ducks, which I'm pretty sure if you saw the original presentation, those are pretty much the characters that I mentioned. Those are mostly just the main characters. I know there's going to be, like, side characters as the series go along, but they're not going to be really, like, main characters. I'm not going to start adding characters because this isn't Fairly Odd Parents. So yeah. I hope you got something out of that answer. But our next question is actually from a person that I happen to know personally. And that person is Potato Joji. I know I said person a lot in that sentence, but whatever. And he actually asked me these through Discord, so I'll answer them now. Where is Alex to this day, and where is Danny Boy? Will Kribo be Squidward, or as he put it, Skidward? And lastly, may I be in one animation?
You can shut up now.
But in all seriousness, I actually have not contacted Danny or Alex in a very long time. We ended up losing contact, because, I mean, we didn't really contact through, like, Hangouts or Discord or anything really specific like that. So we ended up just losing contact since we just talked in real life. We didn't really have, like, we didn't exchange phone numbers or anything, so we just ended up losing contact. I mean, it kind of sucks, but, I mean, hey, it happens, and, I mean, it sucks, but it happens, and once it happens, you can't really fix it, and, I mean, it sucks, but whatever. As I mentioned earlier, Karibo's character did take some inspirations from Squidward, but it's not exactly Squidward. It's not 100% like Squidward, but it's not. But it does take a few inspirations. It's not exactly Squidward, but it's close enough. And your last one, no. But in all seriousness about your last question, I don't know. I don't know about cameos and stuff. I mean, I'll do them, but This next question is from another personal friend of mine, and that is Pixel Ninja, and he asks, what's the lore? Well, Pixel Ninja, you may be a little disappointed, but there is no deep lore behind the series. It's not exactly a story-driven cartoon. Sketchtoons was never made to be story-driven. It's more of an episodic thing. There's no real lore, I guess would be it. I mean, basically your plot synopsis is 5, I don't know what they are, things. Go around and do stuff. That's pretty much the series. When it comes to the basics, that's basically what the series is. I guess the closest thing to lore is just a little fun fact. The 5 main characters are not human. I guess that's all I can really say that could be close to lore. But whatever. Sorry if that's not a satisfactory answer, but there's no real deep lore, unless if you're gonna pull a MatPat and try and, like, dig through every little detail, try and think of some stupid theory. So, yeah, sorry if that question wasn't satisfactory, but that's all I can really say. Our next question comes from another personal friend of mine, Karibo Brother, and he asks, why don't you make something original? Like, game. No. Never. Never again. Well, in all seriousness, if you don't know what he's talking about, and if you don't remember from the presentation, I mentioned a comic that I was working on, that I worked on about a year and a half ago, that I ended up abandoning in order to create, what I'm doing now. Basically, Game was a terrible clone of Tome that I made when I was younger, and obviously there was something wrong with me. I probably had a couple screws loose, or maybe I was just stupid. I don't know. I don't know why I made it, but I don't want to forget it, because, I mean, it's a catalyst for what you shouldn't do when making your own work. So yeah. Maybe if we ever reach a specific subscriber goal, I won't say, I might, remake the comic. I don't want to release the original version, because the original is awful. The remade version is much better, but I don't really feel comfortable releasing that one either. I might remake it in the far future. I'm not sure when, but I would like to remake it for some sort of special occasion. So yeah, but no, that was not original. I mean, I know a lot of people have been accusing me of ripping off Cuphead with the characters, which, as you probably noticed, I have redesigned a bit, making them a little bit more colorful, I guess you could say. But Game was the pure definition of plagiarism. I mean, I know I shouldn't be saying that because it's my own original work, and that's kind of rude to say. A little harsh, because I know there are far worse. I could have done far worse, but it's still pretty terrible. Well, but I guess we'll just go on to the next question, because this was obviously a joke question, but I mean, it was worth mentioning. The next question is from Boardnot, and he asks 3 questions this time. And these 3 questions are, When did you first get the idea to make sketch tunes? How many episodes / skits are gonna be there? Are you going to make a Christmas special involving sketch tunes like last year? Well, Boardnot, glad you asked those 3 questions. Well, to answer your first question, well, I technically had the idea to make sketch tunes for about a year and a half, technically. Maybe a little bit less, maybe even more. Because technically, the series itself was meant to be sort of, it's the spiritual successor, in a sense, to Game. Because, I mean, at around the time when I was beginning to not want to do Game anymore, I wanted to do something different, something more original. I wanted to do something that both kind of carried a little bit of, the spirit of that, but also being something different. So, it just sort of evolved into this. I mean, taking inspiration from various cartoons that I've seen, like, cartoons on TV or internet cartoons from the 2000s, which was one of my, some of my favorite types of cartoons. The crude, random ones from the 2000s are some. And I'm talking about, like, the webtoons, because, like, the ones on television are pretty fucking bad at the time, so, yeah. So it just sort of evolved into this, and, yeah. The other question is how many episodes? Well, I don't really want to say. The reason why I don't want to say how many episodes I plan is because it would be very irresponsible of me to say I plan to have X amount of episodes done. Because I don't want another Joni Taste situation where I have all these big plans for it and then I end the series abruptly due to either I lose motivation to do it or or personal stuff happens. I don't want another issue like that because, for one, that kind of makes false promises, and I really don't want to make promises about a series that hasn't even started yet. I mean, I haven't even uploaded the first episode yet. I mean, I'm not trying to say, like, you shouldn't ask that. I'm just saying, like, it would be irresponsible of me to tell you a proper answer, so I can't really answer that one. As for your last question, that's actually pretty interesting. So, for all the people watching, if you're new to this channel, I'm not sure if you might have remembered this, because last year I did a Christmas video where I reanimated, sort of, I mean, I'm using the term animation loosely, a Christmas song from SpongeBob. I did that as a joke. I mean, even though it took some time to do it, it was pretty fun, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people who saw it would like me to remaster it when I'm, better at animation. I am much better now. But since we're so close to the end of the year already, like, we're already, like, maybe 2 months, like, a little bit less than 2 months left of the entire year, so I don't think I'll do one next year. And in fact, speaking of which, I don't really have any plans for a big Christmas video this year. I might maybe do, like, a review of something Christmas themed. I don't know. I'm not too sure exactly what to do because, considering the fact that, there's only 2 months left, and I'm not really sure what to really do. And, Joni Taste is done, and pretty sure a lot of people would love to have, like, a Joni Taste Christmas special too, but no. And something like sketch tunes related, since it would have to be animated, it might take a little while. So I don't really know if I'll really do that. I may not really do anything big like that for this year, so yeah. Maybe next year I might do something like that. I don't know. Maybe the year after. I'm not too sure. But I would like to do more Christmas-themed videos like that, but for now I'm not. This last question really isn't 100% Sketchtunes related, but I do think it does tie into Sketchtunes quite a bit. So, our last question is, do you plan on collaborating with other animation YouTubers / me by RSI Rock? Again. Now, I know this question really doesn't 100% apply to Sketchtunes, but I do think it does tie into it. Well, I mean, for Sketchtunes, I probably won't really collaborate with others because, I mean, I know it does make the process a lot easier, and it does, I mean, lower the workload for me at least. It's the kind, I mean, I'm not trying to, like, say that, I'm not trying to be rude to any animators who happen to watch this video. I'm just saying, I mean, the saying, you know the old saying, if you want it done right, you gotta do it by yourself. I do think that applies to Sketchtoons. I'm not trying to be rude to other animators, I just need to say that. I won't say exactly what it is, but sometime in the future, I do plan on, doing an animation collab with maybe some animators that, watch my videos. I won't say what it is, because right now it's not announced or anything. But later on, I will let you guys know what it is, because it's actually, I kind of like the idea of it. It was actually a pretty cool idea that I came up with relatively recently, but I won't say what it is. I am more than aware that animation is a collaborative effort, but my animations have a distinct style to it, and having various animators who all have different styles, all animating something would be kind of bizarre. I mean, for things like a reanimation collab thing, like if I were to do, say, a reanimation collab of something, of some other media, like how that Super Mario World, reanimated collaboration went a couple months ago, I think. I think it was a couple months ago, but I'm not too sure. That, had different styles, and that was, that needed to be different styles. It was a reanimation, and it took like 200 people to do it from what I've heard, so I mean, yeah. But with Sketchtoons, I don't really know, but for other animations, yeah, I would love to do a collaboration. Our last viewer question is actually from a commenter I'm pretty sure some of you guys might be familiar with, because he did appear in the credits for Joni Taste Episode 3, and that is the Provolone Ranger. He asks, what was your inspiration for the character design? I guess because they kind of look like Cuphead. Let's just hope it doesn't get 100% ruined by Tumblr. I'm not going to talk about each character design inspiration because, I mean, some of the character designs are sort of just, I made them as a way to sort of bounce off the previous character designs. I mean, the color choices were actually the 5 main colors that I had for the main characters of game, which, they were the stolen colors for Tome. Yeah, but I mean, I wanted to give them those colors since it's meant to be sort of a successor in a way. But not every character has like a full design inspiration. Some characters just sort of have designs that bounce off of, other characters and their personalities and stuff. But I'll talk about the color designs for the 2 characters, SNES and Alex. Those are the 2 characters I'll talk about for this time, at least. Well, SNES and Alex have sort of inspirations from Mario and Luigi in a way, like, more specifically, like, the Mario Brothers 2 original rendition of Mario and the original Mario Brothers 3 rendition of Luigi were sort of inspirations, and that's actually one of the reasons why Alex is actually, like, slightly taller than SNES, and my SNES is actually kind of shorter, since when I was designing SNES all those years ago, I kind of had Mario in mind. So, yeah, that was kind of one of the reasons. I mean, Karibo actually does have some inspirations from the designs actually made by the friend of mine who that character is based off of, with the hair and all, and the eyes, which I mean, he didn't really draw them like holes like I do. It's just a lot of the drawings I saw him do kind of had just black eyes, since it was just on paper with no coloring. Some of them, so I just thought my rendition was just like the eyes were just black holes, like Kirby or something like that. I know Kirby doesn't have holes, it's just like that. So I won't really talk about every character, but just those 3. And also to sort of respond to that whole thing that happened where everybody kept accusing me of basically copying Cuphead. I'm just gonna clarify. I know Cuphead, and his Pal Mugman, all that. But just gonna clarify, not every 1930s inspired thing is just Cuphead. I mean, Cuphead itself it takes inspiration from 1930s cartoons. So, who's to say Cuphead didn't rip off
Mickey Mouse?
So yeah, now I'm not trying to say I ripped off Cuphead. I just like 1930s cartoons. I mean, I'm not a big fan, but I just respect them, and I took inspiration from, them. I'm not a fan. I just respect them, and I mean they're bizarre as fuck, which is kind of the reason why I can't get into them as much, because they're really bizarre. Like, seriously, try watching them. But, yeah. So, I'm just gonna say, just think twice before you start going down the comments saying, bro, don't rip off Cuphead. So, yeah, I hope that answers your question. It's basically a combination of, like, modern things with the 1930s. That's basically it. So, yeah. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for these questions. Unfortunately, no, there weren't really a lot of comments from, you know, other people, unfortunately, but hey, what can I do? I had to get this Q&A done. I did say I would do it Friday. So, yeah. As of this recording, it is Friday, so yeah. This video ended up being a lot longer than I expected, about twice as long, so yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and I guess I'll see you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed this Q&A. I really do. I had a lot of fun doing this. Like I said, it was a lot longer than I expected, and you know, I can get max ad revenue now. So yeah, that's all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.